As some of you know, at the moment I'm on a fat loss phase. To help me with that, I decided to do also intermittent fasting along the way. This is just my personal preference. Nowadays there are a lot of YouTubers, bloggers and some other people that sometimes write articles, I guess, for magazines and things like that, who like to talk about the advantages of doing intermittent fasting for fat loss. There is no problem with that. What I'm sometimes seeing is that they are claiming intermittent fasting being superior for fat loss compared to a normal diet. That's not true, and I will tell you why on this video. The first thing that I want you to understand is that losing body weight will happen independently of the type of diet that you choose. This if you obey at one rule. The rule is simple: you must be in a caloric deficit. The simplest way that I can put this for you is that our body has caloric needs. They vary a little bit every day depending on the activity that we do. What I'm saying here is that if you eat below your caloric needs every day, you will end up losing weight. Doesn't matter what you eat, how many times you eat, and things like that. Doesn't matter. Did you get it? Cool. Let's then move to the next step. Now I want you to show you this chart, better explain you why it doesn't matter doing intermittent fasting for fat loss or doing a type of diet where you eat 5 times per day. Our body is constantly storing and burning fat. So look here at this chart. This is an example of someone eating 3 meals per day doing intermittent fasting. Let's say that they do their first meal at 1 p.m. and they end up eating at 7, 8 p.m. During those times they have these 3 big meals and then they don't eat for the rest of the day until the next day till 1 p.m. Looking here at this image, you see the red line. If the line that is over the red line is above it, it means that your body is storing fat. If it's below it, it means that it's burning fat. Now pay attention to this. When you are fasting, your body is burning fat. We all know that. Great. But then pay attention to when you have your first meal. Because you are doing intermittent fasting, you are probably also doing bigger meals. And doing those big meals will make that your body will take more time to digest your food, so it will take it longer to go back to a phase where it starts to burn fat. Now look at this image here. This is a scenario of someone who eats 5 meals per day and decides to have them spread during the day. For example, they have their first meal at 7 a.m, then they have a snack at 10 a.m, then they decide to have their lunch at 1 p.m, another meal at 5 p.m, and their last meal, let's say, at 8 p.m. So those are 5 meals. Again, if you are above the red line, it means that your body is storing fat. If you are under it, it means that your body is burning it. Now what are the difference between the image that I just showed you before and this image now? The difference is clear. The meals that you are making are smaller in calories. So that means that your body is taking less time to process it and then it goes back to a fat burning phase faster. But because you will have a shorter break between meals, then you will again get back to a phase where your body is not burning more fat, it's maybe accumulating some of it, and then it goes down again to burning fat. And this happens during the whole day. You eat, your body stops to burn fat, starts to store some of it, and then gets back to burning fat. Then same process. So ladies and gentlemen, was I able to explain you why it doesn't matter doing intermittent fasting or a normal diet? Yes or no? Now let me tell you very briefly why I decided to do intermittent fasting and why some people decide also to do intermittent fasting to help them during their fat loss. Most often than not, this is the reason. So for example, I like to do bigger meals. When you have to restrict yourself a little bit, when you have to eat less calories than you normally eat, you have to play smart. So what I do instead is I decide to not do breakfast because I can deal with hunger in the morning and I do a few things that help me along the way. And then I have my first meal around like 1 p.m, sometimes before, sometimes after. Sometimes I don't even do intermittent fasting. But when I do it, I have these bigger meals that helps me to feel fulfilled for a longer time and then eat my calories at the end of the day without feeling deprived and hungry. And that's the reason why some people decide to do it. It just allows them to enjoy more a diet, eating bigger meals and not be always stressing about food. If everything being equal between an intermittent fasting diet with 3 meals per day and a normal diet with 5 meals per day, at the end of the diet the results will be probably very similar. There might be a slight difference, but from the data that we now have, there is no reason for us to say that intermittent fasting is magical for fat loss. Well guys, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a like and I would love to see you more on this channel. For that you just have to subscribe and every time that I post a video, it will show up in your subscription tab. The reason why I'm telling this is because I will be posting a lot more, and specifically in the future I will probably be posting a lot of things towards girls. That's it, thank you for watching, I see you on the next video.